Start with just how significant is AI and what role is that playing in some of the job losses that we're seeing in the tech industry right now?
Yeah, I've been really cautious for the last year to ascribe much of the job layoffs that we've been seeing to AI at all. In some ways, the technology hasn't come far enough to replace most jobs out there. However, in the last month or two, we work with organizations that are going through layoffs inside their organization. And we've been seeing more companies telling us that AI is really the cause, that their leadership is pushing to bring AI in to replace roles and make companies more efficient. And while I've been really kind of trying to put off that story for a while, just recently, it really seems to be the case that AI is having an actual real effect on the number of jobs companies have today.
For some of these job cuts, could you provide our viewers with a look at exactly what types of roles are now being replaced by AI?
Yeah, there are a number of different types of roles where AI can start to take away a lot of the work of a job. Mostly, it's in areas where things need to be said or built that are uh, relatively able to be calculated. So we see it in customer service centers. Lots of companies letting people go that used to answer phone or respond to messages that customers had because AI is able to come in and do that at an effective in an effective way. It's one area we're seeing. And then on the really high end paying job side in technology, we are seeing organizations that are shifting towards artificial intelligence and technology and replacing some of their software engineers with this ability for one engineer to create much more code, much more content at a much quicker pace because of the tools that AI is giving them. And those are two areas where we've really seen companies already announce that they're creating job cuts because of that.
Andy, at the beginning of this conversation, you were saying that you weren't quite ready to say that AI was replacing these jobs. What has changed in the last month or two? Is that just advances in the technology that is now allowing for these companies to remove some of these roles? Or what is behind what's happened in the last, I guess, 30 to 60 days that has changed this?
Yeah, I mean, it is personally for me that I have now started to hear heads of HR, leaders of workforces at large companies tell me that there are jobs that are going to be cut down the line or are being cut right now directly because of artificial intelligence. That is something I had not heard for almost 2 years since people have been asking me about it every few days. And that is it's something that's really happening now in a way that kind of surprises me.
Are there any specific skills or training that somebody who's maybe been displaced from a job in the tech industry that they should be working on to improve their chances and to make themselves more competitive in this job market?
Yeah, I think a lot of skills are easily still valuable, sometimes not within the tech industry, but there has been a deep need for, say, people with software engineering skills in every industry now for a number of years. There's been a real shortage of people that could come in and fill those positions. While the tech industry may be adopting artificial intelligence at scale and starting to remove some of the roles internally, bringing those skills and talking to employers about how transferable your skills are from within a tech organization to manufacturing to finance to all these other areas of the economy where they still need lots of programmers and people that can put together great code and help them build their tech platforms within the company.
So we're seeing this happen on, I guess, the tech and the industry side. What about the educational piece of this? So many kids for years have been told that if you go to school and you learn how to code, you're going to make a great living and you're going to pretty much be set for life. So how are maybe universities and even coding boot camps, how are they adjusting to some of these changes that we're seeing in AI?
Yeah, I think it's still really up in the air. Generally, I still think having an education and understanding computer science and how to code is still going to be incredibly valuable in the future. That isn't going anywhere. It might, a lot of the grunt work of literally typing out lines and lines of codes will be able to be done with artificial intelligence, or people that understand how to utilize artificial intelligence to be 10 times more productive than they were without it in the coding space are still going to be really valuable. I just think about our own company. We've started using lots of artificial intelligence to expand our ability to code and build new products for our customers and tools internally. But we've actually hired more programmers because of that, because each one of them can now do so much that it's made it really viable for a medium-sized organization like ours. So there's lots of ways that having that deep background in education in coding can be like having an education in mathematics or language that people have wanted for generations. Coding's not going anywhere. Understanding how to work with information technology isn't going anywhere. It just is now going to include a whole bunch of help with artificial intelligence.
Andy, looking long term here, do you see AI as a net positive or net negative for the overall tech job market, maybe 3 to 5 years down the line?
Yeah, it's always hard to say. I think there is an enormous number of are being created because of artificial intelligence with new companies, with particularly the infrastructure around artificial intelligence, warehouses, computing systems, these huge projects of infrastructure that are being invested in today. That is going to be around for a long time. There might be some sort of correction. There's been so much flow of capital and activity into artificial intelligence that we could see a bubble popping like we have seen with major technology in the past. Like we saw a huge bubble burst around e-commerce in the tech bubble popping. Doesn't mean today we're not all living in a world of absolute use of e-commerce. There might be ups and downs to that cycle, but I think long term, there's going to be lots of jobs within artificial intelligence and the industries, new industries that it spawns.